Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Adrian Mason back again. It is Saturday, January 11, 2014, and we are now in the divisional portion of the NFL playoffs. Now, last week, of course, I went 2-2, but some really entertaining playoff games. Obviously, the Colts and Chiefs game, the Saints and Eagles game, of course, the Niners and Packers game. The only one that had little to no drama was the the Chargers Bengals game, and basically, we're now in the Elite Eight portion. So we've got the top two seeds from each conference finally stepping onto the field because now they know who they're going to play. And we have two games today and tonight, and then, of course, two on Sunday. But we'll talk about today's matchups. And, of course, today's matchup is a rematch of, if I'm not mistaken, Week 13. It is the New Orleans Saints, by virtue of their victory over the Eagles and getting their first road playoff win in franchise history, traveling back to CenturyLink and taking on the number one seed in the NFC, the Seattle Seahawks. Now, if your memory is bad and you need a refresher course, the Seahawks beat the shit out of the New Orleans Saints. The Saints were knocked off their game plan early. A strip sack fumble led to a defensive touchdown, and the wheels just came off from there. They had like less than 200 in total yards, the Saints did. It was the lowest passing output for Drew Brees since the 2006 NFL season. And yeah, the Seahawks do what they do best when they're at home, and they just dominated. They dominated on offense, they dominated on defense, dominated special teams. It was a very ugly game. And of course, this is also a rematch of the wild card playoff matchup in 2010 when the 7-9 Seahawks hosted the then defending Super Bowl champion Saints. And one play will go down in NFL history as the most seismic and the most disruptive and really the most amazing run in NFL history, known as the Beastquake. Yes, this was the game where Marshawn Lynch broke through at least 7 or 8 tackles, stiff-armed Tracy Porter to hell, and grabbed his dick on his way to the end zone for just a monumental upset. A team that became the first NFL team to win a playoff spot, win the division with a losing record, became the first team to win a playoff game coming in with a losing record. So obviously the Saints know that they have that playoff matchup in their heads, and then what happened to them in the regular season in their heads. The Seahawks, obviously the trendy pick to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, if not outright win it. They get their opportunity to test their mettle now. They got what they wanted, home field advantage. Like I said, they are dangerous at home. 7-1 at home. And, they play their most amazing style of football. They have a stout defense. Russell Wilson is a playmaker with his arms and his legs. And, of course, beast mode. So they've got a strong run game. And then, of course, that defense led by the Legion of Boom with Chancellor, Earl Thomas, and, of course, Richard Sherman. So we have this matchup, we have this rematch, if you will, of the Seahawks and Saints. Now, the keys for the Saints, first of all, don't turn the ball over. Do not let the Seahawks smell blood defensively, because that's what happened when the wheels fell off for the Saints in their matchup against the Seahawks earlier this season. Excuse me. That led to a quick 14 points for the Seahawks first quarter, and it really just halted any kind of progress or any form of momentum that the Saints thought they could muster. So obviously, protect the ball, protect it early. Now there's going to be a huge issue because that thing is going to be pretty much a bar of soap, given the fact that it's supposed to rain really heavy in the Pacific Northwest today and during this playoff matchup. So the Saints have their work cut out for them. Second of all, establish that run game. This is what they did against Philly. It was so effective. It was the reason that they were able to muster the victory in Philly. Their run game was uncorked, with Mark Ingram getting touches, and I can't remember the other kid's name because Pierre Thomas was out, and I don't think Pierre Thomas is playing today. But that run game, they need to get it uncorked. They need to make sure to wear down the Seahawks defense, keep them on that field, and B, just make sure not to get Russell Wilson's hands on that ball. I mean, it's that simple. But establishing the run game, which is rare for the Saints because they are a pass-happy team. But you've seen what happened to them the last time they played the Seahawks. They shut that pass game down. You think Jimmy Graham was going to have a big game at least. Nah, they punked him too. So that run game, no turnovers. And third and most important, or C if you will, the Saints have to keep Russell Wilson in the pocket. Now, it's no big secret that when you go up against Russell Wilson and he's able to get out of the pocket and extend the play, he will burn you. Like, a lot of his pass plays were chunks. His pass completions were chunks, 20, 30, 50 yards down the field. All because they didn't contain him in the pocket. And he had an opportunity to have the play extended to where his receivers can get away from the secondary and he can just launch the ball downfield. That is his bread and butter. You have got to contain him. Cameron Jordan, you've got to contain him. Well, not Cameron Jordan. I'm saying Cameron's got to. That edge, the Saints' edge rushers, they have got to keep that pocket contained. Because the minute Russ is getting out is the minute Russ is going to bust your ass. It's that simple. Now, for the Seahawks, this is easy. 12th man. Keep that crowd loud. The louder that crowd is, the more frustrating it is for opposing teams to get plays called, to get settled, to get in a groove, because it rattles them. Obviously, they set the Guinness World Record again for loudest crowd noise at a stadium. So that 12th man is going to come in huge. If they can get scoring drives early and keep that crowd into it, it's going to be a long day for the Saints. Second, beast mode. Easy. That's easy. That run game. Ground and pound. It's like what I said about the Saints doing it to the Seahawks defense. Well, we know the Seahawks have a strong run game. Marshawn Lynch, Robert Turbin, Christian Michael. I mean, they have a sick, physical, punishing run game. It's no secret. So, obviously, getting beast mode uncorked and getting Turbin in a couple snaps, wear that front seven down. And then third, offensive line. Give Russ time. Russ takes a lot of sacks because that offensive line is average. It's average to above average, but there are times where Russ has to take some unnecessary sacks. But the thing is that when you can give him about 4 or 5 seconds and he can survey the field and he can scramble with his legs and be able to extend plays, that bodes well because then it frustrates the Saints defense, forces them to start stacking the box more or forcing them to go into deeper coverage, which is going to give Marshawn Lynch all the time in the world to do what he does best. So, to recap, 12th man, ground game, keep Russ clean. So, having said all that, who am I picking for this game? Surprise, I'm picking the Saints. For some reason, when Rob Ryan took over this defense, for some reason, when Sean Payton came back, they have just been playing inspired football. Now, everybody knows Sean Payton. He's a mastermind of that offense, but it's Rob Ryan's defense, that 3-4 defense. They are playing a hell of a lot better. And everybody's thinking back to that first matchup that the Saints and Seahawks had a couple weeks ago. It's like, it's just going to be another blowout, blah, blah, blah. But ever since that blowout, the Seahawks have been showing some dents in their armor. For one, you look at the game against the 49ers, you look at they're 7-1 for a reason at home because their only home loss came to the Cardinals. They haven't been playing their best football, not the football that they were playing when they got to 11-1. That football where they went 2-2 down the stretch, that's a cause for concern, and the Saints know that. And the thing is that, okay, the Seahawks are getting Percy Harvin back today, but how much of a factor is he truly going to be? If he came in for a cup of coffee against the Vikings for a couple plays and got hurt again, he was done for the regular season. Now he's going to come back in and make an impact. I don't see that. I think the Saints are really going to try more to keep Russell in the pocket and have him beat them with his arm. And for as great as Russ is, if you notice, if you keep him contained, he's not going to give you that many yards. He's only had, 1 or 2 300-yard games this season. You know what I mean? So I think the Saints have the opportunity to amend that ugly loss. And I think they are going to be in here a lot more focused because the Saints have been a playoff team, 3 of the past 4 seasons. Obviously Bounty Gate wiped away their 2012 season, but they're battle tested. They know this. This is Russell. I mean, yeah, this is Russell Wilson's, second or third playoff appearance. But obviously the pressure is even bigger because they're the number one seed. They're the home field. Everybody's basically crowning them as the kings of the NFC, if not the pending Super Bowl champions. I just think that the Saints are going to have a much better offensive production today. It's going to be tight. It's going to be close. But I'm giving it to the Seahawks 28-27. Or not the Seahawks, the Saints 28-27. Yes, it's a bold freaking pick. But I'm looking at the Seahawks from weeks 14 to 17 versus the Seahawks from weeks 1 through 13. And I think they've been resting. I mean, they haven't played in 2 weeks. So there's going to be a huge form of rust on them. And like I said, it's going to be a close game. It's not going to be the blowout everybody thinks it is. But I have the Saints 28-27. Having said that, now we go to the AFC. Tonight's matchup, we have the NFL media's darling QB, Tom Brady, versus the NFL media's now soon-to-be QB darling and Andrew Luck. The Colts taking on the Patriots. So, of course, you know about what happened with the Colts. The Colts came back from a 28-point deficit and won a thrilling wild-card matchup, 45-44. And, of course, this is the NFL media crowning Andrew Luck, saying he's the king of clutch and, he's the best young QB in the league. And, of course, he was a Colt, so Peyton Manning was there. So, of course, all the comparisons are coming in. It's like the same shit they did with Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre. But they're going to New England, where the last time Andrew Luck was in New England, they got curb stomped bad, like real bad, by the Patriots. And, of course, this is a Patriots team that somehow made it as the number 2 seed, but obviously they've had some serious attrition and other controversies that really stymied their team. I mean, obviously, the Aaron Hernandez saga. Gronk is out for the season. They lost Vince Wilfork. They lost Gerard Mayo. They lost Brandon Spikes. I mean, for them to have this ragtag team go into the postseason as the number 2 seed, which obviously helped them because they got to rest up, it's a credit to Belichick. I mean, the coaching job he's done since he's been the Patriots head coach, obviously it's the stuff of legends. And now you're getting a young, hungry, up-and-coming Colts team with a never-say-die attitude and a never-quit QB heading to Foxborough. Keys for the Colts, obviously it's jam those receivers up. The Colts do have a formidable secondary of Vontae Davis and LaRon Landry, etc. They have to be able to get into those receivers' heads because these are young receivers. These are young receivers that are going to be making their playoff debuts. So you rattle them already, and they're going to have nerves about this playoff matchup. Then it's going to force Tom Brady to do what he does best, and that's dink and dunk or misfire on a bunch of passes. Second of all, the Colts, for one, they've got to find a way to get that run game going. Donald Brown, he's serviceable. They need everything. They need every one of their running backs to step up or Andrew Luck to scramble out. But Donald Brown and, yes, Trent Richardson, they're going to have to come up big in this game. I mean, you ground and pound, keep Brady off the field, keep that offense off the field because Brady can get that ball down the field quick. I mean, he's one of the QBs that can, engineer a 1-minute, 22-second drive, touchdown drive, like it's nothing. Third, that defense, obviously, Robert Mathis. He's going to be the X factor in this game. Actually, you know what? Robert Mathis and T.Y. Hilton. Offensively, T.Y. Hilton. Now, the Colts managed to mount their comeback because the Chiefs lost their 2 starting cornerbacks, which gave the Colts an opportunity to utilize T.Y. Hilton because the Chiefs had to go conservative and play single man coverage, which left T.Y. Hilton streaking down the field for him to have his monster game, which shame on the NFL media and shame on the media for not giving that man his props for the performance he had last Saturday, because everybody's saying it was all about Andrew Luck, but T.Y. Hilton's not catching those passes. Andrew Luck ain't doing shit. So T.Y. Hilton, you got my respect. But offensively, it's T.Y. Hilton's show on the outside. So Aqib Talib is going to have his hands full. If Aqib Talib can find a way to disrupt or shut down T.Y. Hilton, it's going to be a long day offensively for Andrew Luck. Defensively, Robert Mathis. You know how lethal he is off the edge, and he is the master of the strip sack fumble. He can get off that edge up against the offensive line of the Patriots. It's going to be a rough day for Tom Brady, and you know he does not like, I mean, no QB likes to, but you know it rattles him to the core to take plenty of sacks. So, Robert Mathis, T.Y. Hilton. Those are your keys for the Colts. For the Patriots, keep Tom terrific. Tom Brady. You give him the wall that he's accustomed to, where he can survey the field, whether it's, dropping it to a screen pass to a running back or Amendola or Edelman. He's going to hurt you. He's going to dissect you. He's going to hurt you. That's what he does best. He's made chicken salad out of chicken shit for many years. And you give him that opportunity to do it tonight, and this is a playoff game, and this is Bill Belichick and Tom Brady's season right here to shine, they will find ways to make life miserable for you. Secondly, the run game. Of course, once again, Shane Vereen, Stephen Ridley. If they can get uncorked, if they have big games like they had last year's playoff game against the Texans, catching passes out of the backfield and turning them into big gains, going between the tackles, things like that. Yeah, it's gonna gas the Colts defense up quick. That run game is gonna give everything that Tom Brady needs to basically dissect and destroy you. That's what he does at Foxborough. So it's really contingent upon that run game. And third, and I alluded to this with the Colts, Aqib Talib. He's going to be matched up on T.Y. Hilton. I don't doubt that for 1 second. You put your best corner on their best receiver, and Aqib Talib is the Patriots' best corner right now. So you have to make sure to, like I need to tell Aqib this, but the fact of the matter is, Aqib Talib, if he can shut down T.Y. Hilton, that's going to give Andrew Luck fits. He doesn't have Reggie Wayne as a blanket anymore, and T.Y. Hilton has been his go-to receiver for the longest. Aqib Talib shuts him down. You're having to rely on the likes of Darius Hayward-Bay or unproven Derek Rogers or Kobe Fleener. These guys aren't really going to stretch the field. Hayward-Bay can because he's fast, but man's got hands like frying pans. So Aqib Talib knows he shuts down T.Y. Hilton. It's going to make Andrew Luck a little bit more predictable, if you will. And, of course, Bill Belichick knows how to get the best out of that defense, no matter who's on that field. So, shut down T.Y. Hilton, it could be a feast party for the Patriots front seven. So, having said all that, who am I picking? Who else am I picking? I'm picking the Patriots. The Patriots are at home. It's Belichick and Tom Brady. You know they don't want to get embarrassed and clowned by a second-year QB who happened to have a miracle comeback. Nah, they want to end that now. They want to end that right now. So it's going to happen. I think the Patriots are going to win by 10 or more. I say they're going to win 34-24. So those are my picks. Yes, I am picking the Saints today, and I'm picking the Patriots tonight. So that is it for me. I'm just going to go ahead and get myself ready to watch both of these fantastic games. Hopefully they are as compelling and as entertaining as Wild Card Weekend. And I will be back tomorrow with my picks for the 49ers Panthers and the Chargers Broncos divisional matchup. So till then, this is Adrian Mason. Enjoy your day. Peace.